happy Super Bowl week, everybody. How's everybody going on? It's your boy Aaron B, and we have my guy Shane and a special guest. What's going on, Shane?
What's up, y'all? This is Natalia. I've been kind of quiet about her, but just because I'm very protective of my private life. But she was born around the start of the season. The first game that she was allowed to witness was a Cowboys victory, and even though this year obviously finished the same way as most Cowboys seasons have done, she has made it a lot better because I got to enjoy the wins with her, and she kind of softened the blow of a lot of the losses, which I've said on multiple occasions, but I just want to put that out here on this show. And she's finally cooperating enough to actually be on here. And right now she's like, "Oh my God, look at the colors! Look at the colors! Hey, look at you! That's you!" And that's Daddy's friend Aaron. Say hi. Say hi.
Hey, how you doing?
She's just looking around.
Yeah, she's just looking at all the colors right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got a special show for y'all today. It is a Super Bowl week. We're gonna have two special guests on today, and one of the things I know we gotta show love to our sponsor. I almost forgot about that. You can't start a show like that. We got to show love to What a Clean Solution. You need to get your carpets, couches, and towel and grout you got a Super Bowl going on. You got to get that right. And you're moving in or moving out and need to get that place looking brand new. Call What a Clean Solution, a family-owned mobile cleaning service that can clean anything from a small carpet to even making your car or truck look brand new. Give them a call or a text at 210-790-1410. You can use the promo code TNT for 5% off your total cleaning. That's promo code TNT at 210-790-1410 for 5% off. So, our next topic, our first topic of the day.
Mess with my cord.
Yeah, it's all good. Hey, she's bringing a little comedy to our show a little bit. There ain't nothing wrong with that.
You gonna answer some of the questions? We'll see how she does.
All right. So before we get into the Super Bowl topic, we've been having some interviews with the Dallas Cowboys defensive coordinators. But who do you think was going to be our defensive coordinator? Did you want to go into talking about the ones we interviewed?
It really feels more and more like Mike Zimmer's the obvious choice, and it ain't necessarily that I want him to be. My dream defensive coordinator for the guys that were out there on the street was actually Mike Vrabel. I'm aware that's unlikely. But they're out there interviewing people like Rex Ryan and Wink Martindale and Ron Rivera and I don't know, they're interviewing people in the 60s whose greatest achievements on defense was 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like they're using that pedigree really to build off of the profile they have today. The last time Rex Ryan called a defense, I think, was as the DC or DC analyst for the Ravens, if I remember right. He was the head coach of the Bills for a minute. They had a terrible defense. He had a great defense with the Jets, but he also had some historically great defensive players led by, of course, Darrelle Revis.
Yeah.
So you would think, obviously, if you came to Dallas, who do they have in terms of star like upper echelon type talent, right? Micah, Trayvon Diggs, Deron Bland. I would say DeMarcus Lawrence. Most people around the league acknowledge that he is one of the better defensive linemen, even though the sack numbers ain't always there.
Yeah.
And that's probably about it. They have a bunch of other quality guys, but some of them are really more positional guys.
Yeah.
Sorry, she's talking about my cord. But I wouldn't mind an in-house hire like Aiden Durden, the defensive line coach. I love the progression he's made with a lot of these defensive linemen, especially these guys like Sam Williams and Dorrance Armstrong. I still maintain I don't know how Sam Williams didn't get more playing time this year. He was still, even when he was on the field, one of their better defensive ends. But that is what it is. Al Harris is a favorite, but he hadn't even gotten an interview. As a matter of fact, the Cowboys actually interviewed the Jets secondary coach. What's his name?
Marquand Manuel.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, Marquand Manuel. He was the Jets secondary coach, and he coached the likes of Sauce Gardner, DJ Reed, Tony Adams. The Jets had, if not the best secondary, the second best secondary in the league. But at the same time, I feel like, and I said this on another show also, that I don't know if he's a serious candidate because I think it really just feels more of a Rooney Rule obligation with Ron Rivera because now you have to interview at least two minority coaches for either for head coach and GM positions if one becomes available. Mm-hmm. I think he would be qualified, and I would be interested because I'm more interested in new ideas than what we know. I feel like the Cowboys are taking more of a safe route if they went with the likes of Mike Zimmer. But I will give Mike Zimmer credit; he knows defense. I'm not going to say he would be a solid hire, but I feel like this is like the Mike McCarthy hire all over again. They're going with what we know. They're going with reliability. But sometimes, like if you really want to be a team that can take the next step, you take a gamble sometimes. No one knew that Sean McVay was going to become the best offensive-minded head coach, or at least one of them, when he was signed up to be the Rams head coach in 2016. Everyone said he's too young. He was 29 or 30 as the head coach, and look who he is now. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame. And sometimes you take those swings with those young guys who want to prove themselves. The people who are the most hungry will do the most they can to eat. And I feel like the guys who have eaten for a long time, they ain't as hungry as much.
Yeah, I definitely agree because when Sean McVay got hired, that's when you seen that 360 of coaches hiring younger guys because, most of the time your defensive coordinators had to be in their 50s and everything, had to have like 30 years of experience. Now you're getting guys that are 37, 35, becoming head coaches like Brian McDonald, and majority of the teams have younger guys. So I wouldn't mind Marquand Manuel. He's 44 years old. He was he played under Mike McCarthy, and then he was a defensive coordinator for.
Look what D'Amico Ryans is doing in Houston. Sometimes you need to rely on those young guys. The Patriots literally went from the greatest head coach of all time, Bill Belichick, to Gerard Mayo. And I believe Gerard Mayo is going to spend the team around because he's a culture guy. And sometimes you're going for those young defensive guys, which I'm okay with, and there's a culture around it. Most people say you should only some people are very pro offensive minded head coaches because they know the schemes and all that. But the Cowboys have a good scheme. The Cowboys don't have a good culture. If you want culture, you want a culture turnaround, you get defensive guys. You get a defensive guy to turn around. And right now they're going for reliability, which I guess in terms of the candidate pool, I think you said Zimmer would probably be the best candidate, but I don't think it's a game changer.
Yeah, you're gonna get a solid defense, but like you were saying, what about taking a gamble on a young guy? It might work. He's been under some great coaches. He's been under your head coach and then your former defensive coordinator. These guys could probably vouch for him or something. It's just why don't we try to risk it or something like that? Because we always let's get with the times, Dallas. That's all I got to say with that. To be honest with you,
I agree.
So we actually got one of our guests in the building right now. Let me get him in here. Move this. Do you want to introduce our guest?
No, I'm sorry. I was focused on her because I thought she was getting kind of pussy. Why don't you go and introduce them?
Oh no, are you good? You're good. You're good. All right. So our special guest is a sports radio host covering the Kansas City Chiefs and the Kansas City Royals, all the Kansas teams out there, and is a NFL stringer for the Sirius XM and CBS Radio. Our special guest, Darren Smith. How's it going?
What's going on, fellas? Thank you so very much for having me.
Hey, Darren, it's good to meet you. Sorry, we have another guest on the show.
What's going on, little mama?
Yeah, sweet. So how's it going out in Vegas right now?
Oh, it's good. Radio Row's kind of died down. It's 5:00 here, so it's kind of dying down with folks. Either they're doing the shows or finishing up on interviews and stuff like that. So for me, I went back to the room, changed clothes, and get ready to go cover a fight as soon as I get off here with you all.
Hey, Darren, Shane Carter speaking. Hey, as someone who recently got back into sports radio a little over a year ago, I've been I'm obviously a fan and an admirer of anyone else in the industry like that. You've worked with the entire Kansas City area of sports and all that. But one thing that me and Aaron talked about, especially amongst Cowboys topics, has been culture. And that's been the biggest reason why. It starts at the front office and works its way down because talent-wise, the Cowboys, in my opinion, would have as much as talent as anybody else. But it's really more of a mindset thing that trickles down, which is why they ultimately fall short year after year. And Kansas City was like that for a little bit, but then something changed. Was it as simple as y'all just found this generational quarterback, or was the culture that Andy Reid brought there the bigger reason for the turnaround?
It was the culture that Andy Reid brought. The ownership was always fine as it relates to Clark Hunt, but once he found that coach in Andy Reid and Philadelphia fired him or whatever, I mean that was he was like a godsend to the Chiefs organization. So once he met with Clark Hunt and put them together, you got Mark Donovan, who handles the business side of it for the Chiefs, and after John Dorsey, first John Dorsey, and then Brett Veach, him, and in the general manager position. These four individuals, or these three who report to Clark Hunt, they work so well together, intertwined, that it's just been like a well-oiled machine. Now, they had some talent before Mahomes got there, but the quarterback at the time, Alex Smith, just couldn't get over that hump and couldn't do all the special things that Mahomes had. So once they got the quarterback position on lock, I mean, we've seen the things that they've been able to do over the last 6 seasons.
You think it was a benefit that Mahomes was behind Alex Smith for that 1 year?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think it's easy to say in hindsight that perhaps if he'd have started his rookie year, things would be the same. But you never know. So yeah, I would say it did benefit. It didn't hurt him, obviously. So yeah, I would say that it benefited him.
I don't know if you can see behind me, Darren, but up above is a degree from the Texas Tech University, and also from their Super Bowl run a year ago is Pat Mahomes holding the Lombardi Trophy. And as a Texas Tech grad, I'm obviously a big fan and supporter of Pat Mahomes himself. But so I should say this right now. Nothing he's doing in the NFL surprises me because he did all that stuff at Texas Tech. It's just they had a terrible defense, and Cliff Kingsbury is an average coach. I'm just going to say it. I think he gets by with talent, but they never were able to get past an 8-5 record. But he comes into Kansas City with the same talent, like you said, that Alex Smith had, and he made them better, right? But I'm just curious, like from your time covering him, that from 2017, his first 4 years as a starter, did he make them better?
That would have been 18, yeah.
2018. Did he make them better, or did they just make Mahomes this godly figure of a quarterback?
It was a marriage because, again, the talent, because Tyreek was already a starting wide receiver there. Problem was you have a big arm quarterback that could stretch the field, to take care to take advantage of the talent that you had when you had someone like Tyreek Hill. So you put Mahomes back there who can throw the ball 70 yards. Now you got somebody that can stretch the field who if you got Tyreek running down the field that can outrun somebody, now you got a quarterback who can damn near almost outthrow him. They can get the ball down there. Now you can, now you got big play capability. You stretch the defense. Now you got a multitude of things that you can do. And of course, you're able to stretch the ball down the field. And that threatens, the safety and the defensive backfield. Now it opens up underneath for someone like Travis Kelce. And of course, at that time, when he first came on board, he also had Kareem Hunt. So Kareem Hunt, was the rookie of the year before, and he was able, he was able to put up numbers both in the backfield and as a pass catcher. And then at the time, they also had Chris Conley, I think it was, on the other side of Tyreek Hill. So I mean, the talent was there. They had a decent offensive line, but the problem was at that time when he first came on board, the defense was horrible. And I can't, for life of me, I can't understand what the talent they had, why the defense was horrible, but it was. So,
absolutely. So our next guest is Malcolm A., host of the Big Block Sports. How's it going, Malcolm?
Hello. Thanks for having me. How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing well.
The dogs is barking.
Yeah. They hear me talking, so they're like, "Oh, the party started."
Hey, that kind of gave me a little jolt after I heard that a little bit.
Hey, Malcolm, congratulations again, making the Super Bowl. I think you're most people's preferred favorite pick to make it from the NFC. Y'all were easily preseason and throughout the season the best team in the NFC. What was it like? I'm just curious, like going from quarterback to quarterback. Obviously, I found something Brock Purdy. What was it that really turned it around from last season into this season to where not only you had continued success, but y'all taking Brock Purdy into this upper echelon quarterback, maybe even into the top 5 talk as we see today?
I think it was 2 things from my perspective. I think the biggest one would be CMC. The addition of CMC as a Swiss Army knife to that. When the trade happened, it was already talks of he's the perfect piece to the Shanahan puzzle and something that he was always looking for in the draft and through free agency. And I would say the second thing from my perspective is the emergence of Brandon Ayuk as a top threat wide receiver. You guys talked earlier before I came on about how Tyreek Hill would stretch the defense. and allow for Kelsey to be open in the middle. I think Ayuk does a lot of the same things for the 49er offense. He really stretches the defense vertically and in the middle of the field, creates a lot of space for Kittle and, like I mentioned before, CMC to really work underneath.
Absolutely. So, sticking on that subject, we can go left to right on this. Who's y'all's major X factor for y'all team to win this Sunday? We'll go with you, Darren.
X factor, I would say. Offensively, I'd say the X factor would be Travis Kelsey. I mean, if he's able to do half as much as what he did last week against Baltimore, the one thing you don't want to do as a 49ers defense is allow him to get started. Because if he gets started and gets into the end zone, that just it's something about the energy that he emits to the other, to the rest of the team that I think would really help them out. So for me, my X factor is Travis Kelsey in the game.
What do you got, Malcolm?
I'm going to do one on each side of the ball. So I think on defense, I'm going to kind of do a half-C, that nickelback strong safety, like you mentioned, Kelsey. What is the plan for Kelsey? Is it Lenore? I saw Ryan at nickelback last game. So what is the plan? I would say that would be my X factor on defense. And in offense, I got to say that right side of the offensive line, Feliciano, McKivitz, can they contain Chris Jones in that defensive line? Because we know that Trent Williams and Aaron Banks will hold their own.
Okay. The next thing is, before we get into the keys to victory, what is like a Super Bowl hot take that y'all have? It could be the halftime performance, it could be during the game, or anything that's dealing with the Super Bowl.
I think it's going to come down to special teams. I think offensively, a lot of it is a wash. Defensively, a lot of it's a wash. There's a lot of unknowns. So I think it's going to come down to special teams, a punt return, a kick return, a missed kick, unfortunately for the 49ers, has been a common trend, or a block kick. So I feel like the game is going to be changed on special teams. That's my hot take.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it a hot take because I would actually agree with you there. I just think that the question is going to be who can get that extra possession. And that extra possession, if somebody tries to fake punt or something like that and get stopped. I know Buffalo tried that against the Chiefs and was unsuccessful. So, if a team can get an extra possession that they can steal like that, then I think that could be key. Now, one of the things that I don't call it really a hot take, but I think if Kansas City gets up 2 scores, whether it's 10 points or 14 points, I think that's going to be the ball game because the defense plays well when they have a lead, and they're able to do a little bit more as it's defensively when it comes to blitzing and things like that, and taking chances. So for me, I guess that would be my other take.
So we're kind of looking at both, like the special team is one of the main things to see what that would be the main focus looking into this game.
Yeah.
My next thing is, we'll get a little lighthearted with this. What's y'all's most memorable Super Bowl memory? Like, it could be from the past or like how you're at the game in Vegas right now. What's like y'all most memorable memory of the Super Bowl?
For me, it was the Chiefs winning their second one, but their first in 50 years against 49ers when they were down by 10 late in the fourth quarter and then somehow scored 21 on
That's cold. That's cold, man. That's cold. That's cold. That's cold. That's cold.
That's a fact. So I'd say that one. I mean, I was obviously there, so it was just one of those things where I thought they had lost, and I thought they were going to lose, and I was pissed. I'm thinking about the amount of money they had bet on the game, and so when we come back, it was rewarding. It didn't work out for me well the next year, but yeah.
Pain.
Shots are fired right now.
Pain. I mean, facts are the facts. Like you said. I would say one of my Super Bowl memories was 1995 Super Bowl 49ers over the Chargers. It was here in Miami. I live in Miami, if I didn't mention it before.
Y'all beat them down.
Yeah. So I was able to, I don't remember if that was the first year of the NFL experience, but I was able to attend the NFL experience where they have all the items in the parking lot and all the events. So it was a lot of fun. And as a 15-year-old kid, that was one of my favorite like core memories of just going to the NFL experience and then being able to watch the 49ers dominate against the San Diego Chargers. So that was one of my favorite Super Bowl memories for sure.
So I know I'm not, but I want to interject on this one. I used to live in Houston, and I lived in Houston during a time when they actually hosted the Super Bowl. And that was during when the Patriots came back and beat the Falcons when they were up 23 at the halftime. And leading into that game, they had the Super Bowl experience like he's talking about. And what was cool was that they had a special guest, and the special guest was my favorite player growing up, which was Emmitt Smith. And I really wanted to meet him, and so I lined up. I have his rookie card. It's like around somewhere. I have it already signed up. But the problem is like you have to buy something for him to sign to get there. I guess like they had that rule or whatever, which is stupid, right? So I'm like, whatever. I'm getting out of line. I'm just going to go back, right? All of a sudden, as I'm leaving, I'm walking out. I'm surrounded by a bunch of people, and it's like walking in a group. And all of a sudden, I get sucked into this little entourage bubble out of nowhere. Kind of like, you know how like when you're around a lot of people at a concert or whatever, and people start to move, and you kind of get absorbed into that bubble. All of a sudden, I am shoulder to shoulder with Emmitt Smith, and I know it's him because he got that little Emmitt smile on. He's like 5'9". I'm looking over him like, is this real? Like, don't do that. And I never get starstruck. But that he was and still is my favorite Cowboys player. And right then and there, I was real tempted to pull my card out and just say, hey, can you sign this real quick? But the problem was, like, next to him, I had with these dudes in these little blue blocker sunglasses and whatnot. And so I'm like, I feel like if I pull anything out of my pocket around this man, I'm
instant tase.
I'm gonna get taken down. So that was a cool live memory for me. The last time the Cowboys won the Super Bowl, I would have been like in kindergarten or something, like kindergarten or first grade or whatever. But yeah, it just tells you how far we've fallen.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm doing double duty over here.
Man, I like how all y'all have these Super Bowl memories. The only ones I have is on the couch from when I was 5 to now. So I'm at to step it up. So next time we have the show, I could talk about my Super Bowl memories.
I'm hoping to create some Super Bowl memories on Sunday. So we'll see how it goes because I'm hoping to create some new ones.
Absolutely. My next thing is we have a Super Bowl performance Usher. Name y'all's favorite Usher song.
Dang, that's a good one. My way for sure. My way. I got to go with My Way. You know, that's a little bit older. It's not none of this new stuff, but yeah, Usher, My Way. I like that one. That's my favorite right there.
I'd say it's Climax and something else. It's another song that what is it? Bedtime. That's what it is. Bedtime and Climax.
Okay, my favorite Usher song I think is Burn, but mostly because of the Boondocks parody. And I also really like Nice and Slow. Everybody likes Nice and Slow, especially the opening part.
Yeah,
part of that song.
It's epic.
I know, right? It probably comes down to those two.
Hey, I got some.
Hold on, you got to answer the question too. Don't be shy.
No, I got you. My favorite probably You Don't Have to Call. That's probably one of my favorites.
Oh, that's a good one. I just thought of Oh My God, because that's another banger right there.
I hate that song. I think that's line, honestly. Yeah.
It's just like it grows on you like venom. It's like you notice like, oh, you know, whatever, and then before you know it, you're like, yo.
you know, as soon as he starts playing, There Goes My Baby, all the dudes in the stand gonna be looking at their women like,
yeah.
Man, yeah, that song you hear so much on the radio. At first, I liked it, but I was like, "Dang, y'all just played this about 5 or 10 minutes ago."
Yeah, they played a lot. I think he's gonna have a good performance. I think one of my favorite Super Bowls might have been like Bruno Mars when he was up there playing the drums. That was kind of crazy. But I think Usher might be up there because I think he's gonna do a good job.
Y'all think there's gonna be any special guests or anything like that?
I would.
Probably is, but I couldn't tell you who.
I would love to see what's his name? Alicia Keys, because they did that
My Boo.
Yeah. Well, not My Boo. They did the rendition of the Alicia Keys song. What the hell is it called? If I ain't got you.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like that version with that was real good. That'd be nice.
I gotta imagine Lil Jon's gonna be up there. You know,
Yeah.
I gotta imagine Lil Jon's gonna be up there.
Well, you have to have Lil Jon and Ludacris because there's gonna be a lot of white people at the Super Bowl, and that's their favorite Usher song.
Yeah. Ludacris is gonna be up there. That's another one.
Lovers and friends.
If y'all give me to sing, I don't want to wake up Malcolm's dog, so I'm not gonna try to sing right now.
No, but hey, you said you don't have to call. That would be a great song to actually perform to at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of energy to it. That I don't think Confessions would make a lot of sense. Because that's like everything for him, though.
Yeah. I think that's why they hired him, though. You know, like they brought him there for a certain reason. So I think those are some really strong songs, even though they're ballads. I think they're like kind of what you would call a power ballad.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it'll do good in the stadium.
Ooh, I got one for you. What if the surprise guest is Taylor Swift?
I've been hearing about that.
No, she ain't doing it.
I turned the TV off.
Darren, shut that down. Like, no, it ain't happening.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that'd be something else. But my next thing is get back to the football part. This has definitely been a great show. What is y'all's keys to victory against each other's teams? We'll go with it.
Well, for me, I mean, like I said, it's going to be whether or not the Niners defense can contain Travis Kelce and keep him bottled up. You know, if they do force him Mahomes to not only throw the rights, which he's comfortable with, but have the other playmakers, I think, you know, Isaiah Pacheco will get his. But you want to make sure that if the Chiefs are to beat you, that you force them to have, someone like MVS or McCole Hardman beat you in that game. Defensively for the Chiefs, for me, you know, I think the engine starts and ends with. I know a lot of people think Chris McCaffrey, but I think it's Deebo Samuels because that offense looks totally different. You know, as you saw against Green Bay, if he's hurt and not in that ball game, and you know, for all you know, because once he's out the game, Ayuk can hurt you, but you feel like you can kind of shut Christian McCaffrey down and keep him, and then force it because the cornerbacks for the Chiefs, they got no problem being physical and trying to shut down their receivers. And if L'Jarius Sneed, who just had a baby, talking about having the game of his life, and Trent McDuffie, who made All Pro, if they play their normal game, then you know, Niners better have the game of their life. But that's what I'm looking at.
Malcolm, I'm gonna let you finish, but we got breaking news since this is primarily a Cowboys show, and this is according to Tom Pelissero. The Cowboys are expected to hire Mike Zimmer as their defensive coordinator per sources, and we had just talked about that like 20 minutes before we all came on. And so
Zim, the big Zim,
yeah,
the big Zim and Big D.
Maybe it'll have like a Spagnuolo effect on the defense. I don't know. I'm rolling my eyes at it.
Yeah, it's like a mid type of thing. Like you kind of knew it was gonna happen, so. Don't expect like a big wheel from me on that one.
That's a different topic, a different day. Malcolm, go ahead.
Keys to victory. So we have to possess the ball as much as possible. We got to drive the field. We got to have long, methodical drive. We got to keep 15 off the field. I would say that'd be the first one. And also it gives the defense a chance to rest. The second, I would say control field position. Punt, cover good, no freebies. No penalties on special teams. And then that leads me to my third point overall. Like I said, no freebies, no 31-yard defensive pass interference penalties, no holding calls on first downs, no freebies at all. And those three would be my keys to victory. And if we do that, it's a wrap. It's a done deal. Number 6 in the house.
I got an X factor key to the game for both these sides. Also, I think for the Niners, their key and even X factor is going to come down to Dre Greenlaw. I think he can blitz the A gap well because Joe Thuney, the All-Pro left guard, is likely not to play in this game. And I think that's where they're going to attack on the front seven. For the Chiefs, it's going to be finding that target beyond 10 yards, other than Travis Kelce, because the Niners secondary is physical, but it has given up a lot of those big plays down the field. We saw that against Green Bay. We saw that some against Detroit. That they have some susceptibility in that secondary. So someone like maybe a Rashee Rice or whoever else steps up on that outside, maybe it's Marquez Valdez-Scantling, that's going to be one of the keys to the game for them is just getting that ball down the field, because that's where the Niners' bread and butter is within that first 10 yards. Once they get beyond it, that's when you can make those plays, but they don't give up too many of them that often.
Yeah. So since you talked about X Factor, Shane, mine for the 49er is going to be Nick Bosa and that defensive line. Can they contain Patrick Mahomes into the pocket? And then for the Chiefs one, the next one I'm looking at is Isaiah Pacheco as the running back. And he runs with power. Can the 49ers contain Pacheco? The
Lions did a good job with it. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things. Is like he may not be the biggest running back, but he runs with power. But I want to
strong runner.
Yeah, he runs with authority, and and then the 49ers, just that defensive line, they got their hands full.
Doesn't he kind of remind you of Warrick Dunn? Like, not the biggest guy, but just a strong, gritty runner.
I see that. He's not like they say 210, but I'm looking at a guy that's like maybe 200 by 190.
He's 210 from the chest up. That's a big
I absolutely agree with that. But do you have anything else, Shane, before we?
No. This is her first Super Bowl, so she'll have a good time.
Congratulations, man. Congratulations.
Appreciate that. Say hi to Malcolm. Say hi. She's confused.
She's like, I just got here.
Hey, next episode, she'll be asking the question next time. So.
You want to come back for another episode? She don't want to come back for another episode because that's when I'll be yelling.
I understand it. I understand it. My feelings ain't hurt. I'll be okay. But hey, I appreciate y'all for being on the show. Before I let y'all go, I'm gonna give y'all the floor to where they can check out y'all content and everything. So we'll go first with Darren.
Well, thank you so very much for having me. This weekend you can catch my sports show on KLKC Radio.com. That's shows back in Kansas City, but you can listen to it online. And then, of course, we do a pregame show prior to the Chiefs game. So I think the game here is at 3:30, so it'll be 2 o'clock. Myself and my co-host Steve Walls, will do the pregame cheat sheet. We'll do it live inside of Allegiant Stadium at 2 o'clock. We'll go for an hour and get back to our seats in the press box before all the pomp and circumstance of the pregame show takes place. So, and you can follow it on the social media platforms: Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook.
All right, you can find me online everywhere: Big Block Sports, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I'm live tweeting during the games on Twitter or X or whatever it's called now. So I'm looking forward to Super Bowl Sunday. Hit me up. I'll probably go live after the game on Instagram or YouTube, whichever one I feel like. But Big Block Sports, I'm everywhere the NFL is.
Hey, I appreciate y'all for coming on the show, taking time out of y'all day. This has been Tacos and Touchdowns. Y'all have a good one. Peace.